There are places where the earth opens, where time becomes visible, in layers of stone. The Grand Canyon is one such place, 277 miles long, over a mile deep in sections. Rock exposed to air that has not seen sunlight in nearly 2 billion years. Most who visit see what is expected: geology, erosion, the work of a river, and time. But there are other stories. Stories about what was found, what was buried, what may still be there. This is observation, not explanation. What follows are claims, accounts, reports that exist in the margins of record. Whether they mean anything is not for us to say. The Grand Canyon sits in northern Arizona. The Colorado River carved it over millions of years. The exposed rock tells a geological story, layers that span epochs. It was mapped formally in the late 1800s. John Wesley Powell led expeditions down the river in 1869 and 1871. His reports described terrain, formations, and indigenous traces. The canyon became a national monument in 1908, a national park in 1919. Before that, it was known to the Havasupai, the Hualapai, the Hopi, the Navajo, the Paiute. To them it was sacred, a place of origin, a boundary. It is remote. Even now, much of it is inaccessible, and remoteness invites speculation. In April of 1909, a story appeared in the Arizona Gazette. The headline referenced a discovery. The article described an explorer named G.E. Kincaid. It claimed he was working under the direction of the Smithsonian Institution, that while traveling the Colorado River, he found a cave entrance high on a canyon wall. Inside, according to the report, were tunnels, chambers carved into rock, artifacts that did not match known indigenous styles, statues, hieroglyphs, items resembling Egyptian or Tibetan design. The article gave specific details, coordinates, descriptions of passageways extending hundreds of feet, references to mummified remains. It named a Smithsonian official, Professor S.A. Jordan, as leading a follow-up expedition. The story was never confirmed. The Smithsonian has stated on multiple occasions that no such expedition occurred, that no records exist of a G.E. Kincaid or Professor Jordan in their employment, that no artifacts of this nature were recovered. The Arizona Gazette did not print a retraction. No photographs were published. No physical evidence surfaced. But the story did not disappear. Those who repeat the claim suggest suppression, that the discovery was real but hidden, that it challenged accepted narratives of history, that institutions chose silence over disclosure. Others point to the era. Newspapers in the early 1900s sometimes printed fabrications. Sensational stories sold papers. Hoaxes were not uncommon. The article itself reads like many of its time: detailed, yet unverifiable; compelling, yet unsupported. There is no verified evidence the story is true. There is also no definitive proof it was invented. Beyond the 1909 account, other claims have emerged. Some speak of tunnels beneath the canyon floor, networks of passageways, unmapped, undisclosed, entrances hidden by rockfall or deliberate concealment. There are reports, anecdotal, unverified, of hikers or guides encountering openings that should not be there, passages leading into darkness, sealed doorways in cliff faces. None of these reports include documentation, no maps, no coordinates that can be checked. Some attribute the tunnels to ancient civilizations, groups that predate known history. Others suggest extraterrestrial origin. or governmental use, bunkers, testing sites, storage. The National Park Service denies the existence of hidden structures. Geological surveys have not identified anomalous voids or chambers. Cave systems in the canyon are known and cataloged, but surveying is not exhaustive. The canyon is vast. Not every wall has been climbed, not every shadow explored. There are also claims tied to the Hopi. Hopi tradition speaks of the Sipapu, an opening in the earth, the place from which their ancestors emerged into this world. Some believe the Grand Canyon is connected to this origin, that beneath the visible canyon lies something older, something sacred. The Hopi have not confirmed this publicly. Much of their spiritual knowledge is not shared outside the tribe. What is sacred is often protected by silence. Outsiders have interpreted this silence as confirmation, as evidence of something hidden. But silence is not evidence. It is simply silence. The 1909 article remains the foundation of most claims. Efforts to verify it have failed. The Arizona Gazette archives exist. The article is real. It was printed. But the events it describes cannot be traced. No one named G.E. Kincaid appears in Smithsonian records. No Professor S.A. Jordan. No expedition logs. No artifact receipts. Researchers have searched the canyon for the described location. The article mentioned a site near 94 Mile Creek. Expeditions have been made, caves explored. Nothing matching the description has been found. Some suggest the location was intentionally obscured, that the coordinates were false to protect the site. Others suggest there was never a site to protect. The Smithsonian's denial is consistent. But consistency is not always trusted. Institutions have in the past withheld information, misplaced records, reclassified findings. This does not prove the Grand Canyon story is true. It only means trust is not universal. There are photographs that circulate online. Images claim to show entrances, carvings, hieroglyphs. Most have been debunked. Misidentified natural formations, manipulated images, photos taken elsewhere and attributed to the canyon. A few remain unclear, ambiguous enough to fuel continued interest. But ambiguity is not proof. The Grand Canyon is a place of depth, of exposure, of time made visible. It is also a place of absence, of what is not said, not recorded, not explained. The story of hidden chambers and ancient artifacts persists, not because it has been proven, but because it has not been fully dismissed. There are no tunnels in the official record. There are no verified photographs. There are no artifacts displayed in museums with labels that read, "Recovered from beneath the Grand Canyon." But there are questions. Questions about what exploration missed, what erosion may have concealed, what choices were made in the naming of certain places. Isis Temple, Tower of Ra, Cheops Pyramid. Formations given Egyptian names by cartographers in the early 1900s. Names chosen for reasons not entirely clear. Questions about why a story, if entirely false, would be given such specificity, and why, if true, it would be allowed to fade. This is not an argument for belief, nor is it a dismissal. It is simply observation. The Grand Canyon remains. The stories remain. Whether the stories reflect something hidden, or something imagined, or something in between, is a question that has no answer here. Only the canyon knows. and the canyon does not speak.